welcome to another episode of Into the Minds of Madness. I am your certified scaredy cat, Paul McWhirter. Sitting across from me, your horror aficionado, Chris Dicker.
Hello there.
How you doing?
Pretty good, man.
Pretty damn good?
Yeah, pretty damn good. After what we just watched.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that.
That was fun.
Thoroughly. I'm glad we got to, after having Nick Capper on, Justin Hamilton on, the craziness of ending Stephen King month with It.
Yeah. We needed a breather.
Yeah, and this was the perfect breather.
We needed something light and a little bit stupid and plenty gory.
Yeah.
Shall I just say what we're watching?
Please do.
We just got to
We
witnessed Peter Jackson's 1987 film debut, Bad Taste.
What a movie.
How good is this goddamn movie?
It was ridiculous. It was shitty.
Yeah.
The acting sucked. All in all, an awesome movie.
Yeah. Because this was your first time viewing this, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes.
I got a lot of nostalgia behind this one.
Okay.
Because I used to watch this on, I don't know if you remember, what was it, TBS? That public broadcasting, that.
Yep.
That TV.
Channel 31.
That's the one.
Yeah.
They had that on Friday nights, the Schlocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, yes. I do remember that, actually.
And this used to pop up all the time. So those are my first memories of it, like being 13, 14, watching this ridiculously over-the-top gory movie. I had no idea it was Peter Jackson or anything like that. It was just, yeah, it still holds up.
Well, let me tell you, the listener, what Chris told me just before we started. He just said, just remember this. It's budget. It's on a budget. Remember that. Keep that in mind. And it's the guy who made Lord of the Rings. So, of course, it was schlocky. It was dumb as fuck. The special effects were horrendous. But there were moments of little brilliance in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Some of those shots he pulls off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see where he's going.
I was pleasantly surprised by bits and pieces of it, for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, by the whole movie, just as how fun it is.
Oh, yeah.
But there's parts of it that are just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? No. Which I was enjoying the whole time I was saying no.
Oh, yeah. It's just something you got to witness, and it is the definition of, it is the embodiment of so bad it's good. Yeah. Yeah, oh, man.
Well, would you like to give us all a synopsis?
And yeah, this is I even feel like I'm holding a cult thing. This is a cult classic, and I managed to find a DVD from 1999.
Even down to the printing of the credits on the back.
Oh yeah, it looks like it was done in Word.
Yeah, and it looks like it was printed out on a personal printer.
Yeah, for sure. I love it.
Yeah.
So, I haven't actually read this. One thing the aliens hadn't counted on was Derek, and Dereks don't run. Lord Crumb and his army of aliens have landed on Earth. Already, a small town has been packed in boxes, ready to become the latest taste sensation to hit the galaxy. Earth's government issue a full-scale alert, unleash their first line of defense. The boys. Derek, Frank, Oz, and Barry.
Yeah, the boys.
The boys.
Fucking hell.
Will Lord Crumb succeed in turning the human race into Crumb's County delights? Or will the boys stop him? Find out in the funniest and goriest cult film of all time, Bad Taste. Oh, you can't really. That just sums it up. Yeah, that's what you're in for when you read that.
I must admit, it is funny as hell too.
Goddamn, isn't it?
But not because it's trying to be. There are points in it where you can tell he's trying to put in dumb comedy, and that's funny because it's so shit.
Yeah,
the jokes are so bad. But then there's other parts of it that are just super funny because of the shot, or just how stupid it is that an alien calls everybody wankers and stuff like that. Just little stupid things like that just make it so perfect.
It's covered in charm.
Yes,
there's so much charm in this.
Yeah. Peter Jackson plays two characters.
Yeah, he plays the aforementioned Derek.
Yeah,
the Derek who does not run.
He's kind of the hero of the piece.
In a weird way,
yeah. In a weird way.
And then there's what was he called? I think he was Robert.
Robert. That's right.
He was one of the
That was the alien kind of.
Yeah, it was like
character.
the feral one.
Yeah, almost like the main bad guy's right hand man.
Yeah, his little pet.
Honestly, he's like. It's weird that I'm putting it this way, but in Harry Potter, there's Peter Pettigrew, who's like Voldemort's right hand man.
Sure.
And that's what Derek looks like. He looks like Peter Pettigrew's character, so it's kind of a bit strange. Like he's kind of like Voldemort's right hand man, and the like. You're getting phone calls.
I don't know who from.
Popular.
Probably someone just trying to sell me some shit.
Yeah, well, you should just answer it and try and sell them the podcast.
No.
No. So yeah, like I fucking just everything about this movie is just as weird as shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's. I don't know. Where do you want to start when it comes to this movie? Because I'm just enamored by the entire thing.
Yeah, because like it's hard to talk about it without going like scene by scene by scene, because it's just I don't know. I'm kind of just like taken aback by it.
Yeah,
because there's so much I want to talk about.
The opening scene where they have to call the boys. Well, it's not the opening scene, but it's very close to the start.
Yeah.
When they have to call on the boys.
It pretty much gets you ready for what.
Who was that calling? Was that?
I think it was the minister or something like that.
Okay.
Some government official, because the boys are part of the government.
Yeah, they work for the government.
They're the alien trackers and hunters.
Yeah. So he's got no hand, so he's got like a hook attachment, or well, like I presume he has a hook attachment, but it's that kind of setup. And to dial the boys on the telephone, he has an attachment with like a severed finger on the end of it to press the buttons. And it is the fucking weirdest thing. Like, what is...
Like, and like it has a quick shot to the phone with the auto speed down, and there's like the Queen, Mum, the boys.
Yeah, the boys. And he just presses the button next to the boys.
And then he's lighting a cigarette, but it's actually stuck to the disembodied finger.
Yeah, but it's stuck with a Band-Aid.
With a Band-Aid.
And it's a rolly too.
It's so odd.
It's fucking
so
beautiful.
Like that opening shot, that weird back and forth with the, you can't really see the people talking or anything like that. And then it's just like bang, you're on the coast in, I can't remember the name of the town.
I wrote it down. Kaihoro.
Thank you, Kaihoro.
I mentioned during the film that like a lot of New Zealand place names kind of sound a bit like when they're being pronounced, they sound like a real ochre Aussie kind of person trying to pronounce like a Japanese name.
Yeah, trying to like order some
like,
sushi.
Oh, Taika Handa, like like Kaihoro.
I'll get a California roll and a Taika Handa.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a Taika Handa. That's exact Kaihoro. Kaihoro is the name of it.
So yeah, like the synopsis pretty much sums it up. The boys have been called in because they've figured out that something's happened in this small town.
Yeah.
And the boys have been sent in to investigate it. But the town is all missing, and what's left of the aliens in human forms, in matching blue shirts and jeans.
Yeah.
Flared out.
And from what I know, from what I gathered, I'm guessing that so Derek and Barry both work with the boys as well.
Oh yeah, they're part of the boys.
Yeah, they're part of the boys. Yeah,
for sure.
They did like so. What was it? Ozzy and what was the other guy's name?
Frank.
Thank you. Ozzy and Frank, like they're pretty much like the reinforcement boys, like coming in to help him out.
This like.
I don't know where to start with this movie. It's fucking all over the place.
It is.
It's incredible.
It is like the what you imagine someone's first film. Like I don't imagine it being like their first major one to release, but like what a stupid story. Like it feels like a kid's reaction to something like, all right, the alien's got an AK-47, but his butt's hanging out of his pants. Yeah. And then Ozzy flips over and stabs him in the chest, or some shit like that.
Flips over him. Yeah. And then for some reason, instead of the alien guy executing Giles, that was his name. I wrote it down as well. Giles. And then like taking him downstairs instead and shooting him on the grass, and that's what he's undoing in the end. He gets killed because he
So we needed to get to that
gets
shot.
to sneak up to him.
Yeah, we needed to get that shot of him jumping down, like shooting him in the head.
Yeah. One thing that I loved about Frank and Ozzy is they were both like, you know how it's like, oh, the two guys that get called in, they're both like completely different to each other. They're like polar opposites. Like, so there's one point they're in Frank's car and it's a Ford, and Ozzy just goes, "Should have gotten a Holden."
Yeah, when it starts breaking down.
Yeah, when you see their shoes, one's wearing Adidas and the other's wearing Nike.
I didn't notice that.
There's even the point after Ozzy gets shot in the leg towards the end where he like gives him a smoke and he's like, "I don't smoke." Like, it's like and Ozzy's always the one who's just like, "Nah, screw it, I'm going in there." And Frank's like, "Oh God, if we have to." Like, so they're really making it obvious that they're like polar opposites.
Yeah.
Like, and Frank's got this really like close cut haircut. And,
yeah, like semi mullet.
Like, yeah, and Ozzy's just like out here, like just
like a really like fuzzy Rambo hair.
Yeah, yeah. I loved it. I loved that fact that they were like just ramming down your throat that they're polar opposites, man. Like,
like to describe this film to somebody, like you said a great word for it, but I feel like it's trauma. It's like a vaudeville trauma film.
Yeah. It feels very vaudeville.
So there's some really
shitty jokes, very slapstick,
lots of physical humor.
Yeah, really over the top acting and facial expressions.
Yeah,
especially from Peter Jackson.
Fucking
mainly
Derek.
From Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
He's
the most insane character in that bloody movie.
Yeah,
he looks like one of the Doctor Who from Doctor Who.
He does actually. Yeah, he does a bit. Yeah, and especially when he puts the hat on.
Yeah, as soon as he does that.
Yeah, that really made me think Doctor Who or even Sherlock Holmes or something. Like a little bit like that.
Like, I don't think we can like really bother talking about the story because there's no need for it.
Look, we should just talk about the set pieces.
Let's talk about our favorite bits
and the effects.
Do you have like what was it, the one that's stuck in your head right now?
A running joke for me was every time that they'd get shot at, the squibs going off, you could like see the line of them, like how they're like set up.
Yeah,
and you could see them they were always underneath dried leaves. Like, so it just leaves would always be popping up as well.
It's
and
just
they
like
always
avoid the leaves, guys.
Yeah, but they always seem to be just missing them as well, like dancing over the top of them and stuff.
And there's times where it's like they're shooting and it's like 3 hit to the left and 1 hits to the right. It's just like it skips their entire body completely.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that was definitely timed off. Like,
yeah. But that was great. That was really good. I really enjoyed watching that. But like the amount of people who get shot in this too, like the amount of squib work going on in this.
Because there's a lot of what are they called? Third class aliens, as the boss calls it. But I had a theory because it just reminded me, like, there's a part where like they start wearing hats. Some of them.
Oh yeah, heaps of them wearing hats. Yeah.
Well, they need to add to the body count, so they had to reuse people. That's what I'm imagining. So they just put a hat on a dude.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's exactly what they would have done.
I know what you mean. So it's like all those guys with the hats on. They probably would have been one of the 6 that got killed off at the start.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of fucking sense, to be honest. One other part was the weird effect that they kept putting on Peter Jackson's voice as the alien. They kept making him they kept pitch shifting it, so it'd be a bit lower and be like,
oh yeah, when he's Robert and he's all like he's
and you can tell that's ADR as well. Like,
so much ADR.
That's not recorded right. That's not recorded on the spot.
No.
But yeah, just some of the sounds that like the aliens made were just fucked up and just weird. Like, just
lots of like distorted grumbles and moans and shit like that, gurgles and.
Yeah, exactly. I also loved when he was constantly trying to shove brains back in his skull.
Oh, okay. Like, because I of course I knew it was going to happen, but the look on your face when Derek comes back. So we'll talk about the fight scene because that is probably one of the best bits in it.
Yeah, we should talk about the fight scene. Yeah.
So. Yeah, speaking of like a fair, mine is definitely the fight scene on top of the cliff.
Yeah,
and this is like another moment of like, some of the better, really well shot moments.
Yeah,
like swooping shots like on the side of the cliff and
yeah,
really cool shit like that. But Derek is torturing himself. He's torturing Robert on the side of the cliff.
His alien version of himself. So Peter Jackson is torturing Peter Jackson,
and so he's doing a full Velociraptor, screech. And it's making all the other ones come up to him, and So Derek has to take on, I think it was about 6 of them.
Yeah, about 6 of them. Yeah.
They're all armed with hammers.
Oh yeah.
Sledgehammers and such.
Yeah.
And like speaking of vaudeville, like there's the great moments of when like they both swing in to hit Derek and he ducked down and
they hit
the hammers together.
Yeah.
Just cool shit like that.
And when the guy who's been like going for Barry initially outside the garden shed, he's like all the other ones run to him and he's handing out all the like mid-sized sledgehammers. And then he hands them all out and looks around. There's only one giant one left, and he drags it away. And the last guy comes in and can't find any of them, so just grabs a small hammer and he's like, "Yeah, here we go. Let's do this." Like, like visual gags like that kind of thing. And so the guy who's handing them out is like dragging this giant one along with him.
Hammer. Yeah. And like that guy picked up the tiny one was the battering ram.
He was the battering ram
just beforehand.
Yeah.
So like. Yeah, we're gonna be jumping all over the place.
Yeah, that's all we can do. You can't really be prepared when it comes to talking about this film. No. There's really fuck all. There's too much to talk about. And there's no point trying to get any kind of structure going. No point.
But back to the Derek fight, because he manages to take him on. He is an absolute klutz, and like he reassures Barry that he's taking precautions.
Yes. And by that he means he's just got a fucking submachine gun.
Yeah, he's got himself an Uzi.
In his satchel.
He's bottomless satchel.
Yes.
That he seemed to always be losing shit out of. And like even in that scene you can see it was a different cut to when he's pulling the gun out. It just doesn't fit in the bag at all.
The gun does not fit in the bag. No way.
And so he manages to somehow fumble his way through it and take him down. Like he wastes an entire clip by just shooting into the forest beforehand.
Yep.
Oh, just a bumbling fool.
A perfect bumbling fool.
Yeah. And then there's like a fight on the side of the cliff, which was, fuck, that shit wouldn't happen today.
No, I'm surprised at how well they did that as well.
Oh, yeah.
And how, because they are like physically overacting as well. There's like the chance that they could just like throw themselves down that cliff and fucking die.
Oh yeah,
is just unbelievable to me.
It was more likely than not that they were going to stack it. Like,
exactly, and the fact that nobody did, like, what the fuck?
It's pretty mind-boggling, and I love that's another big appeal to these kind of like the first director's movie. Like, you know, they're going to take risks and stuff like that. I spoke about Mad Max, where like they had no what do you call it, permits or anything like that, and they'd shut down pieces of Melbourne Highway to get a shot, and total. No rules, no safety, just fucking do it.
Yeah, just fucking Wild West shit.
Yeah. And it paid off. Like it's a very impressive set piece in a film called Bad Taste about killer aliens.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think your favorite special effect was?
Because there were some good ones. There's some really good ones. Though, like, again, this is nostalgia coming through. The final bit with Derek taking on the leader as they're in space.
It's funny, like I almost like kind of put this out of my head in a way because I was trying to like think back to before then, like during the movie, but then it's like
pretty much like
it's got to be the end.
It takes the whole fucking movie. Like Derek confronts the leader alien who's set there because of course their house is also the spaceship and they're in space now, and shit. Derek cuts a hole in the roof, in the floor above the guy, drops the whole of ceiling onto his head.
What is it? Taste my spinning steel, shithead.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then just dives, chainsaw first, into the fucking head of this alien dude and just drills his way in and comes out of his asshole. My God. Does not get much better than that.
I love the little touch of him of the bad guy, the evil alien, like just cranking this, like just turning this crank,
and that set off a house to be a ship
to help a house take off.
Sucked all the astroturf in and fucking it was not the most it was very Doctor Who.
Yeah, but speaking of that astroturf, it almost took Ozzy out. And you saw like I like threw my fist up in like triumph.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fuck yeah, Ozzy's still alive. Like triumphantly. Like fuck
I thought
yeah.
like he's got to be fucking with me. Oh, he's not. Oh, he's
I
genuinely
was
excited that Ozzy's
genuinely
alive.
excited that Ozzy was alive because he was a fucking MVP. He was just like, no, fuck this. I'm getting the rocket launcher and taking it back to the house, and I'm gonna fuck shit up.
And he does.
And then he almost got taken out by the. Oh, that would have pissed me off. That would have pissed me off. So when he decides he's going to head back and he goes back to the car and grabs the rocket launcher out of the boot, there was a moment where like it's just in a padlocked crate, just a box, and he puts it on his shoulder, and the two aliens run past him like as he's like hiding in the bushes next to the car. And he jumps out and like quickly runs around. I was just like, imagine if like what he really wanted was just the box.
The box is the special weapon.
Yeah, and he just like as they run out, then he just like, yeah, just throw the box at them.
Breaks and they just die instantly.
Yeah, exactly. But it was so stupid how like the aliens like ran up to the car and were like fascinated by the car, like pretending they were like kids in it, like yay, yay, like playing with the music and shit. Like
a lot of like the nice like stupid details in this film. Like that's what I think that's what sets it apart. Otherwise, this would have just been the most boring attempt to make an alien invasion film. Like I think it's very aware of itself. Oh yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
Like one detail I love was Derek's car.
Fuck, that was so good.
What the fuck? It looks like an old, like, really old Ford, like, delivery van sort of thing. But where the driver's seat is supposed to be, there's a cardboard cutout of the Beatles.
Yeah.
And he sits
all in Sergeant Pepper's garb.
Yeah, in Sergeant Pepper. Thank you. I couldn't remember which one. And, he sits atop a raised chair, and it's like a Pope-mobile.
Yeah, it's almost like the Pope-mobile kind of thing. So he's like driving it from the raised chair. And it's so strange.
Like the only reason I could think of that was get into the special lanes where you need several more people in there.
Yeah, the transit lanes.
Yeah. But there ain't no transit lanes in that town. Like
no. Oh, that was great. It made no sense. There was no reason for it to be there. It was fucking perfect.
I was about to say there's almost no payoff, but there is a fantastic moment of it.
It's fucking awesome too.
Like when he's driving up and he's trying to get to the house because we forgot to mention that
we've forgotten to mention a lot of things. Doesn't matter.
the cliff fight. Unfortunately, Derek meets a
grisly almost end.
Yes, he fucking. He falls down the cliff. He gets attacked.
Oh yes. And what he yells towards the end of the fall.
He's right at the end of he's hit.
The fall's taken quite a while by this stage as well. At least
a
good 15
stuff.
seconds. Yeah.
And he's tumbling and all that stuff. And he gets to the final like, oh shit, there's nothing else to
land
land
on.
on.
The final fall.
And he's just like, mommy. Bang, and there's just this huge blood splatter for coming up like someone's just thrown a bucket from behind the giant rock.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And I really liked the dummy that they used because it was like curled over.
I actually
that was really smart.
It was very effective. I thought it was him for a second there.
The first couple of seconds of seeing that shot, you're just like, oh shit, how the fuck did they make that look so good? And then you're like, oh wait, it's a dummy. But it takes a second. It does take a couple of seconds for you to realize.
They did a really good job of that one.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
But so yeah, you thought Derek was dead. The audience thinks Derek's dead, but he's not. He's landed on a pack of seagulls.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty much like almost telling you that's where all the blood that flew up came from. It didn't come from Derek. Really, it came from all the seagulls that he landed on.
You see these look like fiberglass seagulls. One's got its neck snapped and it's got blood pouring out of its mouth. And there's a previous comment beforehand about how much Derek loves birds.
Yeah.
And they're all these seagulls are on him, on his chest and all that, and he wakes up and it's all groggy, and just headbutts a fucking seagull.
Headbutts a seagull because it's pecking at him or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, whoosh.
It's like an almost instant decision to, there's a fucking seagull on me, headbutt.
Yeah.
And that's when we discover that Derek has a humongous gash in his head.
Yeah.
A flap.
Yeah, it's pretty much a flap of skull.
Yeah, it's just held onto by a little tissue, like a little, flesh tissue hinge.
Yeah.
And his brains are falling out.
And he looks down and he's like, oh no. So I has to pick his brains back up off the floor and just shove them back in.
Like every time it opens up, he has a crazy seizure or some shit like that. but he always seems to lose a bit of brain as well in the process.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of moments of him stuffing brains back into the back of his head.
Yeah. So at one stage, the first thing he uses to hold it on is when he gets back to his Beatles car and gets a weird that top hat.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he loses the top hat and then just like rips his belt off.
Yeah, and ties
ties it up like that.
But like, so he's now like he's pissed off. He's going crazy. Every piece of brain he loses, he gets a little bit more madder and a bit just batshit. And so he's driving up. He's trying to get to the house, and there's one bastard, as they call him, and he just runs the fucker down.
Yep.
And that motherfucker just gets ripped in half, entrails everywhere.
Just like entrails and blood and just like viscera just on the windshield.
And it cuts to
the camera just pans down to Paul and Ringo sitting in the front seat, and Paul's got like this
it's real
face
shocked.
on as well.
Like someone's just pinched him on the butt.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking perfect. Like, so he's just like, ooh, we just ran that guy over, John.
Ooh.
Like,
what do you think of that, John?
Yeah, it's fucking great. So good.
And then like you can see that the guy is buried, put in a hole in the ground.
Oh, yeah,
he's half like
holding on to his intestines.
Yeah,
just,
lamenting over.
Yeah, lamenting over his entrails being outside of him. Yeah.
Man.
And then Derek comes at him with the chainsaw and he just like throws a pine cone at him.
Yes. And that deters him. Like after a while,
it actually is like Derek's actually like, oh, what the fuck was that? Like,
fucking stew there in half, then you prick.
Exactly.
Stuff ya.
Yeah, it's fucking beautiful. I love it so much, man. And the fact that he got cut in half like that is just, what the fuck?
Yeah, and like is totally okay to just be sitting there and be calm enough to like try and find a pine cone to throw at him.
Yeah. Oh man, that was so good. I also loved Derek's at the start, his like makeshift hands-free walkie-talkie thing. Like, of course, Peter Jackson would make something like that.
I've always got a soft spot for like when a character has homemade tech.
Yeah, homemade tech. That's exactly the way to put it.
It's always cool.
Yeah. Well, I loved Giles as well. Giles Copeland, he ends up introducing himself as.
Oh, that's right.
And that's like his second last line.
It's like, oh, I'm Barry. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Hi there, I'm Giles Copeland. What's your name? I'm Barry. Let's get out of here.
Cannot show emotion.
No, it was fucking
Must
great.
be wooden.
Oh, I'm Barry. Let's get out of here.
I'm being paid in beer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah, he reminded me of Barry. Actually, reminded me of a mixture between Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and my friend Tim Kesby.
Oh wow, yeah, It's Always Sunny. Yeah, 100%.
So there's a love child there, but also in this, like, because as Derek, Peter Jackson's completely like clean shaven, and in Robert, was it?
Yeah,
Robert mode as the alien, he looks like your quintessential Peter Jackson, the Peter Jackson you know and love.
Total normal Peter Jackson.
But when he's clean shaven, he looks like the love child of George Lucas and Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like it.
It's freaky.
Yeah, it's really strange.
He almost looks like a totally different person.
Yeah, like with his face, he looks like Spielberg, and in the pudginess and like his like stockiness and stuff, it's totally George Lucas. Like,
it's freaky.
Yeah, it's really strange. It's really weird. It freaks me out.
And I know I've mentioned it a couple of times now, the Doctor Who, but do you reckon that was on purpose to make him look like one of the Doctors?
Like with the
scarf,
and everything. I think so. Yeah.
Me too.
I think that was a conscious choice. Yeah. Like Peter Jackson grew up like wearing those scarves, the scarf and the top hat.
Yeah, I kind of imagine it.
Fuck this! I'm putting that shit on for the movie. At some point, I'm doing that. Like, yeah, he just. I think it's Tom Baker. Was that his name? Was that the Doctor who looked like that? I'm throwing it out there. I'm guessing.
And Doctor I can think of is Matt Smith, like by name.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
well,
I'm not the person to ask. Oh yeah, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like we spoke about the budget and all that. Like Peter Jackson like did most of this like on his own. Like he made all the special effects to the degree and got help where he could. But most of the time it was his passion project. He was just trying to make something, and it still kind of shocks me that this is the thing that is the passion project. Like this wacky cheesy fucking story, but yeah. I guess when you're passionate enough about something, like it'll get across.
Yeah. I guess it goes to show how this was like his first thing, and then he didn't really make anything else that was his own work. It was always adapt.
Oh no,
something else.
He had 2 more of these in this kind of
in
life.
this vein. Yeah,
We got Brain Dead.
Brain Dead. Yeah.
And we got Meet the Feebles.
Oh, Meet the Feebles. Yeah, I've heard of that too. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but they're both like
they're his own thing.
Yeah, they're his own thing, and they're like
it is after that he started to become
they make not much sense, kind of like this, you know.
So that's when he started to get picked up to direct more stuff. Yeah.
So then after that, it's like it can actually like somebody else has written a cohesive, proper, interesting storyline for him to base it off, you know. So it makes sense.
Well, that being said,
but this is also fucking ridiculous.
The Frighteners is an outstanding film.
The Frighteners?
Have you seen The Frighteners?
No.
That's a Peter Jackson one. Michael J. Fox is in it.
Okay.
Guy who after a tragic accident can see ghosts and uses it to fraud people out, like scam people, like cleaning out their house as a ghost and shit like that.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, it's really funny but really dark. Jeffrey Combs is in it.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds cool.
That's a really good movie. So that's another original one of his.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So, and that's one he's written as well.
Yes. Written. And directed.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That sounds like a pretty compelling.
I almost picked that up today, so I'm glad you picked this.
Okay. Cool.
That makes a bit more sense to watch that one later on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, but that sounds like a compelling storyline.
Like, it's really good.
The storyline of this is like.
Yeah. What storyline?
Yeah. Exactly. What storyline?
People are takeaway now.
It's like it. As a linear story, it makes sense, but it's still like, what the fuck is this? Like,
it's like it's a drive-in movie almost.
Yeah,
it's just like moments leading up to the set pieces. We just gotta get to the part where they all vomit. Robert vomits in a bowl and they all take a sip.
Yeah, this is the kind of movie that you don't really give a shit about leaving your seat and going to the candy bar for.
Nah, you'll be upset if you missed a head explosion or two.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, or Peter Jackson's I think it's the completely last line. I've been reborn.
Yeah, I've been reborn.
He actually does giggle like that, doesn't he?
Yeah, it looks straight at the camera. And lays that line out.
Oh my god. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about when it comes to this movie? I think we've kind of covered everything we kind of can. Is there anything we've forgotten? Headbutting a seagull, check.
Like some of the lines were great. Like just like the Kiwi, like just the mannerisms. Like talking about when other boys, Frank and Ozzy, finally turn up, and they meet up with Barry, and they're like, "Where's Derek?" And he's like, "Oh, mate, he took a dive off the cliff. He's popped his rivets."
Yeah, he's popped his rivets. I completely forgot about that. Oh, he took a tumble off the cliff. Popped his rivets. It's so good.
I can't recommend this film enough.
I thoroughly enjoyed this. I really enjoyed
this. If
you
can't enjoy this, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
If you stick your nose up at it, then I don't want to speak to you.
Yeah. There's lots to love in this movie. Like that little. Oh, that's right. The little moment where they're just like, it's all right. We'll come back and we'll storm the house after midnight. And one looks at his watch and it says 12:01. So yeah, you're right. After midnight, like perfectly. And then the next guy looks at his wrist. He doesn't have a watch. And the third guy looks at his wrist and he's got like a kid's watch.
Yeah, he's got. No, it was Diana and Charles.
That's right, Diana and Charles. That's right. Yeah. So like just this random sight gag for no reason. I really like that moment.
And anything with I love it. You said it as well because I got very excited when the chainsaw got whipped out.
Yeah,
I love me a good chainsaw.
Yeah, that's right. I looked at you. You love yourself a good chainsaw.
I love a good chainsaw. Especially when the character cuts a character-shaped hole in the wall next to a door.
And then the next time he cuts through a wall, it's also via the back of somebody's face.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the aliens' faces.
He pulls a shining moment, puts his head in, and says, "Bastards!"
Yeah.
And Frank and Ozzy like, "Oh shit, he's lost it." Yeah. They leg it outside. Fucking hell.
Chainsaw through the wall, then through the back of somebody's head.
It's too much. And then he
through the face.
Through a dude as well. Like he caught an alien with a chainsaw.
Yes.
Like a fucking apple.
Oh, That's right. I did write this down as well. It was something that I yelled out when Ozzy survived.
Oh yeah.
The boys live to fight another day.
The boys.
Yeah, the boys.
I need to see more of the boys.
Because that happened within the first 30 seconds, I couldn't get that fucking shit out of my head. Yeah, the boys. Oh. Fuck, I hate dickheads who say that. So, like, just hear it. But you know what? Just calling them the boys, literally.
You know what I want to see?
On the phone and everything, the boys, it said.
Next thing I want to hear from Peter Jackson is, we're seeing a lot of interesting stuff being adapted to TV.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine the Boys TV series, the case files of the Boys? God damn.
So it'd be like supernatural kind of thing. Yeah. Like them just going around to different aliens and shit like that.
But it's the boys.
Yeah, but it's the
around
boys.
The Kiwi, on like the Kiwi coastal fucking...
The boys files.
Peter, if you, by the, tiniest chance that you're hearing this, like, do it, please.
Yeah, please just write it.
Look how successful Ash vs. Evil Dead is.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do the boys, the series.
Do it. Just fucking do it. Bite the bullet, Peter Jackson. Just do it.
If you have to call it Bad Taste, the series, just so people know about it.
Exactly. Bad Taste. Like Wolf Creek, the series.
Oh, I keep
Bad Taste,
that's
the
even
series.
A thing.
Yeah. I watched the first couple of episodes of it and... Yeah, I think it was a bit of a slow starter.
I just still can't.
But I'm also very interested in seeing season 2 because Greg Fleet's in it.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but I just can't. I can't forgive the first enough to want to watch the second film and then watch the TV series.
See, I gotta admit, I didn't mind the first one. I didn't mind it.
Too many stupid decisions.
Okay.
They put themselves in those situations. Those people.
It's like I saw it when it came out, like when it first came out on.
I waited
on DVD.
like 5 years. I waited ages to watch it because I just there was way too much hype and I wasn't into horror then as well. And it's like finally decided to watch it. I'm like, man, that did not deserve the hype.
Yeah,
I guess
I
from guess from like an Australian made horror film standpoint, yeah, deserve the hype 100% because it doesn't happen that much.
Yeah,
but still, not my cup of tea.
I think that was the hype that I got behind. Like, oh, cool, Aussie horror film. That was the hype that I got behind. It's like, sweet, yeah, it looks like people are liking it. Yeah, better check this out.
Yeah.
Like, and I knew it was like that slasher kind of thing as well. Like, it's not really a slasher.
No, it's more the torture porn variety.
Yeah.
To a degree.
But that's the other thing. Like, I didn't find like the torture porny stuff. Like, I didn't find it all that gratuitous compared to some of the other torture porn shows.
Oh, yeah.
Especially compared to some of the other stuff I've seen. I thought it was relatively tasteful in the torture-y kind of bits.
Oh yeah, just as I said, as soon as a character makes an obviously dumb decision, where like, I think I've said it before with like the first time they've managed to take him down, and they've got the gun and they got it off him. He's on the ground. He's passed out. They place it down next to him.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And then leave. And it's like, of course he's going to come too and get the gun and kill you.
Especially when you're making like what's supposed to be like a realistic film. You have to make them make realistic decisions.
Exactly,
well, and they really don't do it. Yeah, no, yeah, I understand what you mean.
It took me out of it.
Yeah.
But John Jarrett, he still gives a fucking great performance.
Yeah, and it's shot really nicely too, I think. Yeah, so there are a lot of redeeming features.
It's just
those things really fucking piss me off.
But it's when people refer to like Jaws and that they come to me and say, man, the scariest movie is Wolf Creek. It's like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Sorry.
I gotta admit, I didn't find it that scary myself.
It's not scary.
It was off-putting and weird, but it wasn't really that scary.
Yeah, probably falls in the more unsettling.
Yeah.
All that kind of variety.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. All right, well, should we wrap up Bad Taste? I nearly actually called it Body Melt then. That's weird.
Oh, yeah. We were kind of in a body melt mood, so this fitted in perfectly.
This was awesome. I'm so happy we watched this. Yeah,
there was a couple of other like options, which I think we might dive into more, because we forget how much of a good time we have with these like ridiculous movies.
Yeah.
Like, there's some trauma stuff I've picked up recently.
Okay.
I got one called Blood-Sucking Freaks.
All right, yeah.
About a traveling like carnival show where it's like a magician, but he's actually just murdering people on stage.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, nice and tasteful.
Nice.
So that might come up soon.
All right, sweet. We'll dive into some other weird shit and see what we find.
Hopefully, see The Boys, the series, come out soon.
Get onto it, Jackson.
What else are you fucking doing?
We know you can hear us. All right, guys. Thanks heaps for listening. You can hit us up on our Facebook page, Into the Minds of Madness. itmumpod@gmail.com for emails if you like, or you can private message on Facebook. That's easy as well. whatever you guys like. @ItMumPod on Twitter and Instagram as well. Do whatever. Enjoy yourselves with that. Jump on, follow us. We'll get more active on there, we promise.
Yeah.
We keep saying it, but we will.
I'll be making some cool shit to put up. I'm trying to, give you guys something. But
yeah, we're gonna start making some content that isn't just podding. So other than the promo pictures, the images that you make, Chris, and all that kind of stuff, we're gonna start doing some other weird shit.
We've been a bit quiet with the sketches, but something's coming.
Yeah, we'll do some other shit.
Someone eventually.
Yeah, we got some ideas on the board, so we'll see how we go. So thank you very much, guys, for listening to, what was it called again? I really just want to say Body Melt. Bad Taste.
Bad Taste.
Thanks for listening.
If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Yeah, so good.
Get your hands on that bastard.
Yeah, yeah. It was actually, we mentioned this to Kappa last week, actually.
Did we?
About, we talked about Body Melt and how it was related to kind of a bit like Bad Taste. So I'm glad I've ticked that off my list now.
Nice.
So, yeah, and I hope you enjoyed those guest episodes we did the last couple of weeks. Hope you enjoyed the IT episode. We're going to do some more guest ones soon as well. So we're just going to keep rolling out some content for you.
Just going to see what tickles our fancies.
Exactly. Simple as that. So we will see you next week, guys. Enjoy and rest in horror.
Rest in horror.